Hello, everyone.
Hi. Hi, Kim. How are you?
Hello, Andrea. I'm good. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and thank you to Suzanne. I mean, thank you. We didn't do anything yet, so I hope it's worth it.
Suzanne's so lovely.
And thank you, Teresa, as well for the super sticker. Thank you guys so much. That's so nice of you. Thank you for coming. Hello, everybody. We're gonna wait just a second. Debbie's going to be here in just a minute. But hi, everybody. Hi, Brenda and Ron and Connie Brown and Teresa and
T-Barb and Brenda and the whole gang here.
Awesome. Yeah. Michelle and Michelle. Raquel, JG. Hello, everybody. So hopefully you'll find the people we chose this week very interesting. I think we found, and that again, three very different people. And I changed my last minute. I don't know why I did. So we'll find out why I changed it. I don't know, but I just felt like, I don't know. It just came to me. So I was like, well, there must be a reason why. So yeah. But hello, Donnell.
Hi, Love Peace.
Hi, Sharon and Tisha, Sis, Rachel Seeker, Sharon. I think that we're going to have Adam helping us out. I'm not sure, but hopefully we will.
Someone said I was doing my hair. I'm not doing my hair. I'm stuffing my face.
She's on a burrito break before the show.
Oh my gosh, you guys, all of a sudden I started getting shaky and I'm like, I need something to eat. This was the quickest thing I could think of.
Good work.
That was feeling,
yeah,
doing my hair. My hair is a mess today.
It's beautiful. It's curly.
It's so pretty. I know. It's so girly and fancy. You ladies are fancy. I feel like I just came out. I came out from the backyard, so I'm like, here I am.
You always look spectacular. Are you kidding me?
Thank you.
If you want a bad day, then girl.
I know. That's the truth on that one.
Stop. Hello. Hi, Phyllis. Hi, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys ready for some lovely ladies?
I'm done stuffing my face.
Debbie, did you hear? She changed her pick, so we're going to be surprised.
Oh.
No. No, you guys know my pick. I'm just saying I had picked somebody else.
Oh.
And then when I went to tell you who I was doing, it just came to me. I just switched. I don't know why I switched. So we'll find out. Like I said, we'll find out why I did. I don't know.
I was thinking, I did all that research on
I read about it.
No, you're good. You're good. I wouldn't surprise you guys. I'm surprising them. Well, good. So let's get started, guys. So let's see. So we picked three amazing women again. And if you guys are new to this, basically we just kind of tune in to three either historical figures, famous figures, women. And it's been very interesting. Every time we've done it, it felt like there was kind of a through line between the women that we would choose, even though they were completely different. And we get some amazing messages from them for all of us. So where should we start? Let's see. We're going in alphabetical order, right? First name. So who would be first?
You're first.
I'm first?
Your name is first.
It is. Okay.
I think or who picked her? I don't know.
Who did you pick?
Oh, that was yours, Debbie. I think you're first.
Oh, Debbie picked the one with the E. Starts with E.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
Eleanor Roosevelt.
Okay.
Eleanor
Roosevelt.
Yes. So, yay, Eleanor. Andrea, did you read about her today?
I did a little bit, yes.
Okay, can you share what you have a little bit?
Okay. I didn't write anything down, but I'll go from memory.
Okay.
Thank you, Marby.
Former first lady.
Former First Lady. She was born in a very wealthy family, socialites. Her parents were socialites.
New York, yeah, born in New York.
Lots of money, lots of power and influence. She didn't have a happy childhood, apparently. And her parents, I believe, both passed away when she was in her early teens. She ended up marrying, so she is the niece of the first Roosevelt president, I believe. She's the niece of him.
Oh.
And her husband is her fifth cousin once removed.
Yeah, I didn't realize that she was married to a fifth cousin.
I didn't
Okay.
Yeah.
Now see,
Thank you,
that's why I wanted you to share that scoop. I didn't get that scoop.
Yeah.
Thank you, Love Peace. Thank you.
So she
And thank you, Impish Artist. Sorry.
apparently her mother was not that thrilled that her daughter was so plain, as in not pretty. So that's not easy for a young girl to live under if that is the case.
Correct.
Her mother thought of her that way. When she met her future husband, his mother said, "No way, you're not marrying her. Nope." It took him away on a trip, on a sabbatical, hoping to change his mind. And he said, "Nope, my mind is set. No matter what, I am marrying her." So they must have had a very strong bond right off the get-go.
Yeah, so she's saying respect, that there was a deep
Mutual respect. Yeah.
for each other.
Because it feels like over the years that their relationship turned into like a good partnership. And when he got sick, like I think he had affairs and stuff, you know, it wasn't but they worked through it. And then he got sick, and I think he lost the use of his legs.
Mm-hmm.
And so she would go and do speeches in his place. So she really started to blossom. You know, she was friends with Amelia Earhart, who we read on before.
Yes, yes.
She even snuck out of the White House to go on a flight with her.
I love it.
So a bit of sense of adventure. And obviously she must be very confident to go and speak to, you know, large groups, other leaders, things like that in place of her husband and alongside her husband.
Right.
So she brought a lot to the table. You know, he might have been president in name, but she brought a lot behind the scenes. And so, and I feel like a lot of sorry, I'll be having a harder time finding my words because of the shaky. But Truman, was it Truman that said he called her first lady because he felt that she had that much power.
Yeah.
Well, her husband was in the White House.
She certainly defined the role and made it not just, you know, the wife in the house. She was out front and center.
Yeah.
Right.
And that piece, and she's connecting a little bit with what's her name? Guys, you guys are like, what do we have?
Amelia Earhart, Jackie O.
No. She's alive. She's alive right now. She's showing a connection to her, and her husband cheated on her too in the White House.
Oh, Clinton?
Yes.
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. She's showing a connection there, that empowerment, that power behind the woman.
Right.
And that, yeah, the empowerment and strength. There's nothing that you cannot do. Do not ever put yourself a step behind your partner, your spouse, or whoever, behind men. We're all equal. And she really wanted to make a movement in that and show that strength behind the scenes. So
she was big helping the women's right movement.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
so, but anyway, she's showing that link between her and Hillary.
And the civil rights movement as well.
Yes.
She was involved with the NAACP. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Human rights.
I think she was very charming. She had that quality where she was in the room, you wanted to talk to her. People were drawn to her. Intelligent, kind. She's got a great energy. She feels fun. a little bit of sense of adventure and humor.
She had a firsthand account and also deeply understood the human experience. And she said that with that piece, yes, she had, a hard life. Like at the beginning, her childhood was hard. She had so many losses, but those losses and that pain also brought her strength. And so that she had this like deep connection to the human experience and humanity as a whole.
Book Bewitched said she championed child protection as well.
Oh,
I believe they had quite a few children. I think like 5 or 6 children.
wow.
Children, yes.
Yeah.
5 kids. So 4 boys and 1 girl.
Oh, wow. I just heard she couldn't stand Hoover. She didn't like Hoover. She just said, I couldn't, I didn't, the poor, she's talking about the poor. She couldn't understand a person who was in a position to help and wouldn't help. She was very an advocate for the poor. She's saying she shouldn't say advocate, but she worked on behalf of the poor. It resonated with her for some reason, even though she had a lot of privilege in her life. She's just like it. She had such compassion for people that were trying so hard and couldn't provide for their families, and it broke her heart. But she's saying, I couldn't stand Hoover. So there you go. I guess you don't get past everything when you get on the other side. But she's saying, yeah, it did not like him. Apparently
her nickname when she was little was Grandma, because she was so like serious and stern, not in a horrible way, but she was just I think she was an old soul.
Yeah.
And I think she knew a lot and felt a lot, and she just feels very motherly. She's got a lot of feminine energy around her. That's why she was so compassionate. She wanted to take care of everything.
Mm-hmm. She says, that saying, I didn't suffer fools.
Mm-hmm.
So not in that if you really didn't know, like if you weren't smart, that's not what she's meaning. It's when you, and she's showing me Hoover, but it's when you're foolish with your acts, and it's because of pride or ego or something like that, that really sparked her.
I pulled some cards. I've got freedom. So wanting everyone to feel free and comfortable in society. That's what I'm feeling from this card. Equal rights for women, people of color, just everyone should be equal. That was really a big focus of hers. Her other message is intention. Set your intention. Be really clear with what you want. Don't feel like she was wishy-washy at all. There was no, second guessing what she wanted. She was like set her intention and move forward very gracefully into it. I love that she snuck out with Amelia Earhart to go on a plane ride.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you sneak out with Amelia Earhart to go on a plane ride?
100%. I mean, what a thrill. Check in on her marriage. See what she thought about marriage.
She's saying that she had this window of time to really make a difference, and she felt like she was placed in this position, and she wasn't going to waste it.
She did not waste it at all.
No.
Yeah.
Her husband, she's saying her husband always defended her, that she wasn't easy to, she wasn't, she wouldn't, she would say and do what she pleased. She didn't, and he had to come to her defense many times, but it wasn't in her to back down, to keep her mouth shut, to step back. It was not part of her personality. She couldn't do it. And it made it difficult for him sometimes, but he always stuck up for her.
I was thinking, when you were saying that, I heard the song "Stand by Your Man," but the reverse, like he's like a woman, right? Like he loved her. He respected her, loved her, no doubt. And I got the lover's card, and that she considered him to be a really good, loving, and righteous man. Mm-hmm. So they were a good match. They're definitely a good match. She was devastated when he passed away.
Oh,
devastated! Like it ripped her heart out. That was I think they were soulmates. That's what it feels like.
I'm getting that she's really excited about all of the women in politics now. She really thought after she was first lady that there might be an influx of a lot of women coming into politics, and there wasn't. She was disappointed that more women didn't kind of take on that mantle, but she's saying she's so excited now. This is the time. It's like women are finally in positions where they can make changes. She's very, very happy and excited about that. You're right, Debbie. She really likes Hillary Clinton. I feel like she feels like they are kindred spirits in some way. They were both a little misunderstood and almost too strong for their time in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for me, she appears young. She's appearing to me young. She's like 30 years old. She's like a younger woman. And to me, she seems really tall. She's like tall and has kind of long, kind of just straight dress. But she doesn't. The pictures I've seen of her, though, she doesn't. It looks very different to me, how she's appearing to me than in pictures of her that I've seen.
Oh, interesting.
But she's a young woman.
Maybe she felt the strongest then.
Maybe. Very bright smile, big smile. What's that?
Oh yeah. That big smile. But I think she was tall.
I think she was too. She was a taller woman. I asked a card to describe herself, and she picked balance. I feel like she both feet on the ground, very pragmatic, intelligent, practical. Mm-hmm. Not hysterical or just like very just very, and that's why I think she was so respected, because you were getting the goods with her, the real thing. There's a balanced, logical approach to things.
She's using the word pragmatic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pragmatic.
She really didn't have any other didn't have any other way to think. She's saying, that, all these great things we're saying about her, she didn't ever think. She's like, there was no other way for her to think. So, but what she's offering us as tonight, all of us, is she's saying to pull up your bootstraps. There's a saying, right? Pull up your bootstraps and get on up and do what you can to be empowered, to change the underneath unconscious, the disempowering change that filter what's the filter? So we've been programmed our whole life a certain way, right? Okay. As women, we've been watching this. Okay. And we built a program up unconsciously. This is what we're supposed to do. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I know. And it's unconscious. So now be conscious about it and change it. What you think is real and the right way might not be. Be conscious of what filter you're going through, she's saying. And I know there's another word for that, but I can't find it right now.
Thank you, LJ Shan. Thank you.
But did that make sense to you? Or am I just do I just
get on
like what I feel?
Yeah. You know, pull up your bootstraps and get on with it. Get out there, get it done. Don't sit around. Go do your business and change the narrative. You can do it.
Yes, beware of how you're viewing something, because of this programming that we've picked up along the way that's unconscious. Just be aware of where you're coming from. Yeah.
I feel like there's also, she's saying that to kind of fully, I want to say like fully embody who you are and do not apologize for it. Do not apologize. She's very like, fully embody who you are. And it's almost like stand your ground, but I feel like that kind of like, be who you are. Do not apologize for it.
Somebody wrote, put on your big girl panties. Yeah. So, absolutely.
Or your pantaloons. What is
the funny thing is the reason I went to that saying is because she's showing me putting boots on, like literally boots, and not afraid to get dirty, not afraid to get out there. Get those boots on. Go do that. Get out there. Whatever it is. If it, you feel like you're not allowed to because of whatever, she's like, recheck that and make sure it's not coming from a pre-programmed filter that we've picked up. So
I see dogs around her. Did she like dogs or did she like animals?
I'm going to guess yes.
Okay. I see just all of a sudden I like see little dogs around her. Or like, not as little as Lucy, but like dogs around her.
Dogs, for sure. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes on that one as well.
And Tisha says she's ascending Sagittarius, Sun Libra, and Moon Cancer.
Oh.
Powerful lady.
Powerful lady. Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Don't let life pass you by. Get out there and enjoy it. Live a life of joy and gratitude.
Gratitude.
Yellow is the color of your solar plexus chakra, which is what you do. So she's telling you, go and do this. Be happy. Be yourself. Celebrate yourself. I'm celebrating myself.
Well, good, you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Eleanor.
Yes.
Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful energy with her.
Yeah, such a really nice energy. Strong.
She's saying, if he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
Just started pushing a wheelbarrow away, waved. Strong woman, guys. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful soul.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, celebrating the self, smiling heart. That's right. Okay, I think Andrea, I think you're next, right? Does yours start with an I?
Yes. So I picked another strong woman, a powerful woman on the world stage, Indira Gandhi. And her story is pretty amazing. So she was the first and only female prime minister of India. Her daughter was the first prime minister. Her father was the first prime minister of India. She was in office as prime minister for 15 years, from 66 to 77 and from 80 to 84.
Wow.
In 1999, she was called Woman of the Millennium by a BBC online poll. In 2020, Time magazine called her, put her in the list of the world's 100 powerful women. A bit of backstory on her. So she was a only child. So she said that her upbringing was lonely and unhappy. Her childhood was unhappy. So her father was on the road a lot with politics, etc. And her mother was often ill and in bedridden, etc. So she kind of felt this isolated upbringing. Despite all that, she ended up going to Oxford. That is not an easy school to get into.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
She was at the end of her, I think at the end of her studies, and the war broke out. So she wasn't able to go back to Oxford to finish. Eventually they gave her an honorary degree because she obviously proved her smarts, etc. So she's a bit of a controversial figure in politics. So there's good and bad, right, with her reign. But again, a very powerful woman. She helped liberate Bangladesh in the war with Pakistan. So they helped liberate Bangladesh. She was also very involved in, I think it was called the Green Movement or something. And that was to make India more self-sufficient. She said it was embarrassing to have to ship in food. So this was more about food and growing like grains from the States or whatever. So she wanted to make India self-sufficient and be able to feed themselves without having to import everything. She was also instrumental in equal pay for women and moving the dial on women's rights. So, yeah. So what is just crazy to me is that she was assassinated. Not only assassinated, so she was assassinated by two of her bodyguards who shot her 31 times. 31 bullets left guns, right? 30 of the bullets hit her. 23 of them went through her body. So eventually, obviously, this was in her garden in the prime minister, where they work or live, whatever. And so she's walking through her garden, and her bodyguards shot her. They took her away. She was pronounced dead. Several hours later, they couldn't save her. I mean, that's really brutal. That's a really brutal way to go. She had two sons. So her oldest son took over, was made prime minister. But unfortunately, he was also assassinated in 1991. Her second son had passed away years earlier in a plane accident. He was driving a plane and it was an error. So very interesting. So she was 66 when she passed away. So she was revered on the world stage by other foreign leaders. So that there was quite a bit of outpouring from all the different countries and all the different leaders when she passed.
And what year did she pass away? What year was she assassinated?
She was assassinated on October 31st, 1984.
84. Okay.
You have to be a strong woman to be in her position, in her politics. So she had helped her father. She had worked under her father for quite a while before she got into it herself. So she did have some experience, she was meeting people, things like that, and study at Oxford. So I think she was very driven, very smart. Again, there's always controversy when someone is in charge of a country. So there were some things that happened that maybe not everyone liked. And the bodyguards that shot her were from a group whose compound was destroyed a little while earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to say too much about whoever. You guys can look it up if you want. I just don't want to upset anyone saying anything. So, and at that point in her career, she only trusted family members. So she must have sensed. I wonder if she had a sense about it, and it ended up being the bodyguards.
Yeah.
So what's it like for a woman in India to rise up and become prime minister? 15 years. It's not easy for anyone, a man or a woman.
Right. No, yeah.
So I'm hearing that she now there's a lot she regrets. At the time, she felt like she always needed to prove her toughness, prove she was tough, prove she wouldn't back down. She felt in a corner that way. Like she always had to make sure they knew that she was as tough as any man would be. So she did things that were kind of in a lot of ways out of her character, really. It wasn't really, she's saying it wasn't really her. She did things she wasn't comfortable with, but she felt she had to. So she regrets them now. At the time, she just didn't know what else to do.
Yeah.
She's proving it. She also said she did not know who to trust. She was always wavering with who to bring into her, like her inner circle, who was inside with her. She didn't know who to trust. And that was a constant. She's like, it was constant, not at the end only, all the way through. I did not know who to trust and who to bring into the inside. She also saying she had a premonition. She had a premonition about her death. To me, it feels like almost like a dream or like a daydream, but she's saying she had a premonition.
She felt off balance. Again, that's not knowing who to trust and being forced to maybe do or say things that you maybe not want to do.
Yeah.
Again, proving her power. She had great instinct, though, and I think she did have a sixth sense about some things. And I think someone's just telling me she knew something was going to come. I don't know if she knew it was going to be the bodyguards, but obviously. It's such a violent way to go. I wonder if she has anything to say about.
She said she made that choice. She knew that she was sacrificing pretty much her desires for anything or whatever. She knew that she was sacrificing that, but also acknowledging that she did. She's also saying nowadays you wouldn't have to sacrifice so much, but maybe in India. But we have more opportunities here to not sacrifice everything and have to prove so much, because there is so much behind the scenes pressure against her. She's saying that there was literally threats on her life daily, like all the time. So it was always kind of present. But she's linking that with part of the sacrifice.
And then for her son to be prime minister and murdered just a few years later. I mean, you're really sacrificing everything to be the leader. To be in
that position. She wouldn't change it though, because she feels like she made an impact on the globe, permanent. You know what I mean? She made that impact, so she wouldn't change it. However, that being said, it's kind of like, I wish people knew that my favorite color was pink, or you know what I mean? Like, she did have that softer side that she could never reveal, and not really even behind closed doors much. You know what I mean? Even with, with family, she feels like she could have been a little bit more softer, I guess is the word.
It's weird because her energy, if I could like just describe her energy, it feels like a mom to me. There's something very motherly about her. And maybe that's the way she felt about her country as well. Maybe it was like she was the mother of the country as well. But
Yes.
Melissa says that the day before she died, she gave a statement that said, "If I die, my death will serve India the way my life has." So clearly, thank you, Melissa. She knew something.
Yeah. And that's kind of what she was saying here with like, she wouldn't change it because the impact that it made.
Right.
Yeah.
The martyr.
The event that happened, City Griot, sorry, I think that's your name. They say that it was the son who orchestrated this slaughter that eventually got her killed.
Oh.
So again, like, and I think her son kind of maybe was dominating her at that time. Something, again, not everything she'd done under her watch was hers, right? Was not her decision. I think that's a message she wants to come out. But again, it's like, you're right. Like she knew she was going to, like, I don't know. That's one of those, again, when we see someone's destiny, she was going to be prime minister, and whatever came with it, she accepted the deal. Right.
Yes. And she knew that it was part of her path, and that she would be taking it, and what the sacrifice would be.
Yeah.
She knew it, and she did it anyway.
Lisa Foster, you can't see the chat. You should be able to hit comments and see it. Right? That's how you do it from their end. I think you can hit comments.
On their end.
It should be there.
Yeah. Because they're on YouTube, and it would be this same.
Okay. Yeah.
She pressed through so much heartache, guys. Like things that would destroy us and like put us in bed for like a year. She pressed through, and never took time to let it dictate her life at all. But also, it's like she wasn't allowed to grieve and stuff for things that she wanted to grieve over.
The man she married, it wasn't really approved of by a lot of people. I think they were, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think they were different religions or something like that.
Oh.
So that was not made easy for her. But she had a lot of strength and energy. So everything she went through, she still had all the strength and all the energy to persevere. You're right. She had to have sweetness upside down. She had to not show the sweeter side of herself.
Right.
I think she felt she had to trade in a little bit of her feminine side to be in that position, or her natural sort of feminine side.
And she's saying it's not a mistake that she was in the gardens. That was not a mistake. She wanted to be there. She wanted to be there. Something about this whole thing and being in the gardens, she wanted. Yeah. It was like she was, even though this was happening, she wanted it to be on her terms. Does that make sense? I'm going to the garden. You know what I mean? Something about it. She was trying to take power back.
like picking the place. It's now it's like obviously a area where people can visit, and it's like a shrine. So yeah, she was just as powerful or as important and relevant and talked about after.
Yes.
And to be named in 2020 as one of the world's 100 most powerful women. It's a pretty big one.
Yeah.
I do feel like she's still processing everything. She's still working through it. Neither one of the ladies I feel like are here now. I didn't feel that for Eleanor Roosevelt, and I don't feel it for her.
I don't feel it for Indira.
She's still kind of
correct.
Figuring it out, still going over it and working through it. She was closer to her younger son, who she thought was going to take over, in her steps. Then he passed away in the accident. And her older son didn't want to do this, so he begrudgingly went into politics. So I feel like there's some unfinished business between her and her sons. Yeah.
And maybe a bit of betrayal possibly from the older one, if he did in fact.
So different from that. You can feel the energy just kind of lower with her from Eleanor Roosevelt, who seems so like kind of very kind of happy and kind of bright. Her energy, it just feels sadder to me, but she does feel like a loving person. Like she has a loving energy about her. So I feel like maybe that is part of the damage in a way, is kind of having to not be that, even though that was what was inside. She had to project something completely different to get to do what she was supposed to do. She left her country though, and she wanted to affect change.
Yes.
It was just harder. I think it was just hard for her.
Yep.
Harder than she thought was going to be. And like you said, Debbie, a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah, and she didn't have it easy. Like, I don't think she had an easy life at all. Like, childhood, growing up, it wasn't easy. She lost her son. Like, all of these things happened. I think there's some kind of sorrow about, I don't know, if maybe there's sorrow in the kindergarten teacher. Did she not, maybe she feels like she didn't do enough or teach enough. Do you know what I mean? Like in her living state. I mean, obviously she still talked about today and people learn from her today, but I think she wanted to do a little bit more.
Yeah. So maybe this is a connection here for you, Andrea, because she was telling me at the beginning that there at the end, right around the same time that she was taken out, she had a desire for I don't know if it was like a women's university or something about creating I don't know, equal something about women and school. And maybe that piece goes with that, because it had to do with school. And I was seeing women. She really wanted to do something with that system.
That feels like there was something that she didn't quite get to finish. Maybe it was a female university or something.
Like that. Yeah. So maybe someone will know, but I'm like, I didn't know where to place it. So I'm like, okay, we'll revisit if it comes up. But
cool. Wow. So what's the lessons that she's teaching us? I heard the word compromise, which I think is her having to compromise. Not that it's a lesson, but it's something she had to do. So is that something,
women don't universally have equality in India even now, Melissa says.
Well, or anywhere.
Truth. Okay, so what what do you?
I heard compromise. So what are you willing to compromise, or should you compromise? Because she compromised
That's the
quite a
question.
bit. I
She
don't know.
compromised
Yeah,
too much.
too much. So take stock in what you're compromising and what are your true values.
And I felt, so I heard the word when you were talking about, before when you were talking about unfinished business, you said mother. So I feel like being a mom, being a mother was something she wished she had, I don't know, put more energy into, or been able to put more energy into. She doesn't feel like that she did enough, or that I don't say that she was a good mother, but she doesn't feel like she did the job of mother very well.
She'd been so busy and
yeah, she had a country to run. So it's hard to do those two things, but it is a regret. I feel like it's a regret that she
that was one of those sacrifices.
Mother. Yeah.
She compromised,
Yeah.
So I feel like with that, Andrea, she's like, where are you willing to compromise? There's so many things in life we look at and we have to go, okay, I can take this much forward, and I have to be okay with leaving that little bit. So when we're faced with that, making the right decisions for the right reasons.
the compromise has to work in your favor. Can't be to your detriment, right? Or to those you care about.
Right. Yeah. Your priorities, make sure your priorities are, and then stick to them, don't waver. Cause I feel like she was pushed a lot into different circumstances and positions. And she just kind of did it because she thought this is what you do in this position. And I don't want to be any different than anybody else. So I should do this too. But it's like, make sure you know what your priorities are and that you stick to, like you said, compromise when you want to, not because you feel like you have to.
Yeah. I want to say hi to David, who's saying hi to me. I'm reading with David the other day. Very lovely man.
Hey, hi, David. Even though you didn't say hi to me, I'm saying hi.
What was the other thing that just popped in while it?
Sorry. Go ahead. I feel like part of what we're feeling with her is that she sacrificed so much, and it didn't all play out like she had hoped for.
Right.
Some of the things that maybe she felt she was promised or something, it just didn't play out how she had thought. And she knew that she was going to be sacrificing things. She knew that her life would be she knew all that, but there's just another piece to it that she sacrificed that she wished that she hadn't. So go ahead, Andrea.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, Catherine.
I also feel that she didn't know it was coming. We all know that we can feel that she knew it was coming, and the dignity and the grace that goes with that. She accepted the outcome and as you say, decided where it was going to happen.
Yeah.
That is a very strong and powerful thing to do.
Yeah.
To face it with that kind of grace. I mean, she would have known right there what, like, as the men turned around, that, if she was trapped, that was it.
Yeah. So I feel like she's working through some regrets.
Yeah.
I feel like she's working through some of that. But
that's a great lesson for all of us, right?
Yes.
So sometimes the lessons are a little rough to learn, and for someone to share it with us is wonderful. So compromise. Be careful what you compromise, right?
Mm-hmm. Choose love over power. It's her last words to me.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, bit of a controversial figure, but I thought interesting.
No, that's a good one. Very,
Yes, very
interesting.
interesting.
Very,
Very
plot twists and turns, and but definitely someone fulfilling their destiny 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, and brave. These women
Very
are there's a bravery to them that is
Yes.
yeah, interesting. Okay. So shall we thank Indira and let her
Let her go.
Yes.
Thank you.
move on? Thank you. Okay, should I go? And last but not least?
Last but not least.
Okay, so again, very different than the last two, but I picked Janice Joplin, the renowned singer.
See, I missed that. I missed that.
Oh, you did? Okay. So she was born January 19th, 1943. She died on October 4th, 1970. She is from Port Arthur, Texas. She was kind of a quiet artist type when she was growing up. Very, very normal suburban family. You'd never know it by looking at that picture, but that's what she was.
She has great hair too. Great hair.
I know. Such great hair. She was actually, she was quite famously, I guess, tormented and bullied as a kid in her hometown, a young person in her hometown as a teenager, relentlessly. Kids were very mean to her, very cruel to her. She moved away to pursue a career in singing, moved away from her small town, and she ended up in kind of the scene in San Francisco, got into a band, and she had her big breakout performance at the Monterey Pop Festival and at Woodstock in the late 60s. She was a songwriter too, but her most popular songs were covers of Piece of My Heart, Ball and Chain, Summertime, Me and Bobby McGee, Cry Baby. And her original song, Mercedes-Benz, was also a big hit for her. She died of a heroin overdose in 1970 at the age of 27, which puts her in the 27 Club, which is a lot of all these artists that kind of died at the age of 27. Her second album, Pearl, was released 3 months after her death, and that was only her second album. And what she did and was just 2 albums. Her second album was Pearl, was released 3 months after her death. It reached the #1 Billboard Top 100. She was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1995, and she remains one of the top-selling musicians in the United States even today. So. There you go.
Yay, Janice.
I
have to say, Kim, it's the weirdest thing because I was driving home from Taos today, and she came to my mind. Why would Janice Joplin come to my mind?
She came into mind too. That's why I switched my pick. Like yesterday, I think I switched my pick. I had all set.
She must have a great message. I'm getting chills. So she must have something she wants to say.
Right.
Okay.
She feels like a force of nature.
She does.
A huge personality. I also feel like she's an old soul. A lot of soul in her voice. Her music. I feel like she was an old soul, even though she was only 27 when she left. Just a force of nature. I think she would be fun to hang around for a bit.
She does. She feels very laughy, happy, up, very, to me, her, she's like you said, big energy, but very uplifting. Not, to me, not anything like the last one, Indira Gandhi, bless her. Yeah. She had a kind of a lower energy field. This is just like, whoom. It's she's like you said, very strong energy, but a happy energy.
She said her beginning was her end, and so I was asking her about that, and she said that her childhood stuff, the haunting stuff from childhood, was her ending as well. So, like, never fully dealing with her demons of her childhood. Kind of kept her with, medicine, medicating and doing those things to kind of like that. And also just the pressures. Because I was asking her about the overdose. To not feel for a minute just feels so good, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so I asked her about it, and that's when she said my beginning was my ending. Ultimately.
She's saying, I felt like the queen of the rejected, the dejected, the rejected. I felt like the queen of the rejected. Because I feel like it's kind of like I actually, when I was growing up, I really wanted those things, like a husband, children. I saw myself in that, and yet I was pushed out. Like, you don't belong here. You don't belong here. It rejected me. That's what it feels like. It rejected me. That I would have been okay with that. It rejected me, and I was kind of pushed into
like an outsider.
Yeah, like an outsider, and having to figure out a way to deal with that, and find another path, almost like forced onto another path, and yet it was right. And yet I think you're right, Debbie. I think there's something about it that is really sad. Like, even though it was still, because I feel like it was fun, and and my fans loved me, and I loved them.
And I don't feel like her ending was purpose. I don't think it was purposeful.
No.
But why she was in the drugs and doing that was
right. But there's something, about being kind of pushed out of what you would have been perfectly happy with, but you're pushed on another path, and so she just went for it and was Janice Joplin.
Yeah.
I think she loved working. She loved making records. She loved singing, I think.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about the money, even though she made money from it. She loved it. And I think being on stage was a way for her to get away from things as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of you kind of in a moment when you're up there, like just another world.
She just said that was a drug too.
Yes.
That was a drug too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Total rush, right?
Yeah.
But I think the pains of the past, she was trying to escape, always feeling like an outsider and state of limbo. And then we have the drugs that overtook her, the addiction. But she didn't mean to do a shot that killed her.
Yeah.
However you smoke it or whatever you do with it. That was totally an accident.
Yeah, I got that too.
I'm hearing I was clean too. She's saying I was clean. So it must have been a one-off. Maybe she had stopped or something for a while, or stopped doing, because she's saying I was clean. And then
unfortunately that's generally when you're going to get the overdoses, are those who revisit after not doing it for a while.
Because their bodies can't handle it. And they do the same dose that they would have done before, but their body can't handle that.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So she's also saying, I had a voice. And I used it. Even if I was young, whatever, I used that, and I changed the world. And she's like saying, you guys all have a voice. Use it. Change your world. I went up against all odds, and I used my voice, and I changed the world. She does have that energy, you guys. She's like, I had a voice.
Use your voice.
I had a platform, and I used it. Yeah.
A lot of women don't use their voice, and I don't mean singing,
Yes.
saying what they want, their feelings, putting themselves first, whatever it may be. Hey, I want to raise, right?
Exactly.
Use your voice. Definitely a fun person.
She may already be back.
I was wondering about that too. The other two did not feel.
No, this one, I'm wondering if she's already back. Are you getting anything on that, Kim?
I'm asking her. I heard not yet, but I'm coming back. So maybe she's in
ready
stages or something.
Right in it. Yeah. I got the chills on that. I think you're right.
Yeah, I feel like she's like,
when I'm checking in on it, it's like
kind of on her way.
Getting all her things, gathering things together. So that makes sense to me. Yeah. She's ready. She's coming back.
Ready. This flew out of the deck sideways. So
oh, there you go.
Getting ready to come out and shine again and gift. She's definitely going to have a gift again, whether it's singing or not. She's going to be recognized.
Mm-hmm. There's some now she's talking a little more about it. There's some you know how there, and I'm not versed on this, but I understand it. You know, you have the star seed children and this children and that children. There's a group of children she'll be a part of.
Nice.
So it's kind of like that timing. As soon as that gate opens, she's coming through, and I feel like it's soon. So I get like you guys did too. So,
she's saying the Renaissance. So I wonder if there's going to be kind of like a Renaissance, like a second Renaissance, you know, kind of a big artist kind of explosion of like art and music and stuff again. But she's saying the Renaissance. So, I think she was talking about what you were talking about with those kids coming in. Yeah, and they're coming in. Okay. Artists, I guess, coming in. But it feels like everything. It feels like painting and writing, and it feels like just a lot of that. I mean, that's weird. I've gotten that on my channel before too. This is coming, but hearing how she said that, and then you were saying that too, Debbie. It's weird.
The fates round and round. Yeah, she's coming. To me, like I said, I always felt she was an old soul, so I think she's and she's coming around again. She's
going to be part of this group. You know how you know, people are living off the grid and doing that as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if, you know, she'll be part of that or born into that, and then bringing forth that kind of energy with her, like that whole new way of thinking about the new hippies. Yeah, T-Bar.
Yes, it is.
I feel like she's literally coming through that movement. So that would make sense with the Renaissance too, and the children of the Renaissance. Yeah. That makes sense. Wow, this is really cool, Janice. Thank you.
And round. She was in the 60s, and she'll be in the next.
The next round of hippies. Yeah, totally. Like, yeah. I mean, she fit that so to a T too. So that makes sense.
And Erin's saying that the times where it's kind of an echo of going from the Dark Ages into the Renaissance, we're kind of coming out of a pretty dark time. I think we're still, we're still coming out of it, but we're definitely has been a dark years, a hard few years, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Will she sing then? Love Piece is asking. She's going to be something. She's going to be known for her talents. I think she's going to be a female again.
I think so too. I don't think she's going to be a singer though. For some reason, I feel more like writing or something. I feel like more of a writer. Maybe she'll be a songwriter or something. But I feel like there's something more with writing. I don't feel her as much as of a singer. I mean, that would be great, but
I know, right?
But
she's going to make an impact. No doubt. She's coming to make an impact, but it might be different. Yeah, but it is. I got that she was coming as a female too.
Yeah. Aww.
I could see her as like a 10-year-old or something, and like kind of like a Greta. What's the little girl? Yeah, something like that.
Oh yeah.
But in the arts, or something like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's funny because I felt that connection when she was trying to show me the scene here. I was seeing Greta, so something to do with
something like
then,
that.
Yeah,
She's going to be well known as a young girl,
Right.
and trying to move the dial and do things, which is awesome. And using her voice, she won't be silent.
She'll be using her voice, but not like we knew it, of course. That impact she already made, right? And that's going to last forever. So.
And that's pretty wild. 2 albums and you're that famous.
Yeah, incredible. You know who I'm seeing is that one, the girl that did, or the young woman, I guess, that did the poetry at the inaugural.
Oh, yes.
So maybe will be something like that, like a spoken word kind of or something.
Person, interesting.
Yeah, because I'm seeing her, so maybe it's some kind of combination of kind of environmentalist and all of these kids are coming in at a much higher vibration. They're the ones that are going to kind of change the.
It's wonderful.
The vibration and change the world. So it's got to be those people.
Yeah. Wow.
Poetry. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You can see when I'm in with her energy, I'm like, yeah. Oh, so cool. I'm like totally in the groove here. She's hilarious, you guys. She's fun. I would have loved to hang out with her.
Yeah.
Absolutely would have loved. Just to talk to her. She wasn't afraid to be like, if she was a dork, she was a dork. She wasn't, even though she was bullied at home and whatnot in her life, when she left, she wasn't afraid just to be her dorky self, whatever it was. I love that about her. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, thank you, Janice. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, three very different, but amazing, strong ladies, and not perfect. They all kind of had their difficulties, their ups and downs, their mistakes, their
human experience.
Lessons are human. Exactly. They were all, very, very incredible ladies. Well, good.
Excellent.
Well, shall we do it again next week, ladies?
Ciao.
And so are we gonna be on your channel, Debbie?
I think it's my channel next week. Yeah. So see y'all next week on my channel, and we'll have 3 new amazing ladies. And we'll be the same, but
we'll
be
talking about 3 new amazing ladies. Yeah. And I promise I will eat normally, so I don't go through some weird food crash or sugar crash in the middle of it. So
that's okay. Well, and if there's people you want us to look at, let us know. Anybody that sounds interesting or you want to hear from, that would be great.
We can also, we keep picking people or women from the past, but we can also pick present day women, and I have one in mind for next week.
Oh, so we're going to read someone who's alive.
Oh,
that'll be fun.
That will be fun. Yeah. Grace Kelly would be a good one. That's a really good. That's a good one, Love Peace. So thank you all for coming and hanging out with us.
So I wanted to give a shout out to Sonia Rain Lee. It's her birthday. I just wanted to say happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
She was here with us in the chat, and she's doing this. She's going on tonight, just on her channel live tonight later. Nice. So yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy
birthday. On over there and say happy birthday then.
Yeah, go say happy birthday to her. All right. So thanks. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks everybody for showing up. Have a good
Blessings,
Monday,
everyone.
Monday, and we'll see you next week.